Okay, we're ready. Everything's on, both.
Are you showing your YouTube's on? Mine's not.
Both are on. Both are on, Ted. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we start then? Let me get all my stuff. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a regularly scheduled meeting of the Zoning Commission of the City of Danbury, October 26th, 2021. Let the record show we'll begin with a roll call at 7:31. Mr. Almeida is here.
Here.
Ms. Fay, I do not see, absent. Mr. Hawley.
Here.
Ms. Hylinski.
Here.
Mr. Jowdy.
Here.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Mazzi.
Here.
Mr. Melillo.
Here.
Mr. Eriquez. I see him. Mr. Marchand, I do not see. I'm going to mark him absent. And Mr. Nejam, I'm also going to mark absent. Mr. Eriquez, I will have you sit in for the entire evening for Ms. Fay. Thank you. And I'm Chairman Haddad. If we can all join Mr. Melillo for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Candace is here.
Thank you very much. Candace is on her way in.
Uh-huh.
All right. Hi, Ms. Fay.
Disappeared.
Yeah. Okay. If I could just get her to say she's here. Ms. Fay?
She might be waiting for her audio to connect.
Present. I'm sorry.
she
Yes,
goes.
I'm having difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Mr. Eriquez, you're going to go back into the dugout. We're going to put Ms. Fay in so we have our regular members in. And let me put her down as here. Thank you. I'm going to read the legal notice for the entire evening. The legal notice is hereby given that the Zoning Commission of the City of Danbury will hold a public hearing commencing at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, October 26th, 2021, in a web-based meeting hosted on Zoom to consider the following matter. Petition of Golf Lounge DB LLC, Danbury Fair Mall, 7 Bacchus Avenue, space C1001, in parentheses F17002 and F17013, for a special permit for a cafe liquor license. Copy of this application is on file in the Planning and Zoning Office for public inspection. Parties and interests and citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard at this time. Agenda to be posted will include instructions on how to access the Zoom meeting and application materials and view the meeting in real time on YouTube. Theodore J. Haddad, Jr., Chairman. This is posted on the city website and the town clerk's office on October 18th, 2021. Published in the News Times on October 16, 2021 and October 22nd, 2021. Purchase order 2021174. The next regular meeting is scheduled for November 9th, 2021. Acceptance of the minutes. Did everyone get the minutes?
No, I didn't send them. I
Okay.
didn't send them yesterday because I didn't feel well and I went home early because I was sick. So,
On your birthday,
yes,
that's not right.
I know, but it's okay. I'll live. It's
All right.
okay, but I'll get them out this week. So we'll
All
have
right.
them, in plenty of time for the next meeting. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. I just didn't know if my link didn't work or everybody's. Okay, that's fine. No problem. So let me read the virtual Zoom meeting introduction. The meeting of the Danbury Zoning Commission is being held on Zoom as a virtual meeting. Even though this meeting is a virtual meeting, members of the public and interested parties continue to have the opportunity to participate in the meeting in a couple of different ways. You can participate via Zoom and see the audio and the video, or you can call in by phone and participate via audio only. Please be aware that we may have to mute your microphone or telephone to avoid an echo or some other background noise. Instructions on how to participate in the meeting appear in the City of Danbury website, and all of the documents and materials that apply to the matters to be discussed during this meeting, including the agenda, are also available on the City of Danbury website. As always, if you have any questions, please contact the City of Danbury Planning and Zoning Department. As a reminder, the entire meeting will be posted on and can be seen on the City of Danbury website. We will follow the posted agenda as per standard practice. If prior to the meeting, any questions or comments on agenda items were submitted via email to Sharon Calitro, those comments will be read during the appropriate portion of the meeting. Finally, please remember that technology glitches sometimes do occur. Please be patient if that happens. Okay, got that disclosure out of the way. We have a public hearing this evening. Before I get to that, let me talk about the procedure on the public hearing. On the procedure on the public hearing, we will announce it in. We will read any relevant documents. We will then call the petitioner or their representative to speak in favor. Commission members at that time can ask questions. We'll then ask the public if there's anybody else interested in speaking in favor. We may then ask them follow-up questions. Not hearing any more in favor, we'll then go to those wishing to speak in opposition. Those wishing to speak in opposition will speak. They can also field questions from the zoning commission members. When that has exhausted itself, we will then go back to the petitioner or the representative for any rebuttal closing comments. After that, one of a couple things will happen for certain. The commission may seek to continue the public hearing. The commission may seek to continue the public hearing for a specific reason, or the commission may seek to close the public hearing, at which point a vote will be taken. First public hearing this evening is a petition of Golf Lounge DB LLC, Danbury Fair Mall, 7 Bacchus Avenue, space C101, in parentheses F17002 and F17013 for a special permit for a cafe liquor license. This location was previously approved for and had a liquor license as a Red Robin restaurant. Let me clean a couple things off here. And part of the package that we received, there is a letter in here that I'm going to go over briefly from Jennifer Eminger, dated September 28th, 2021. Golf Lounge DB LLC, 78 Topaz Lane, Monroe, Connecticut. It's an application for a waiver to site plan requirements code number 21-23, change in use restaurant Red Robin to indoor amusement enterprise and cafe with the sale of alcoholic beverages. Danbury Fair Mall, 7 Bacchus Avenue, tax assessor lot numbers, in parentheses, in plural, F17002 and F17013. To whom it may concern, I have reviewed the referenced application for approval of approximately 7,363 square feet, change in use to permit an indoor amusement enterprise and cafe with the sale of alcoholic beverages in a vacant tenant space, formerly Red Robin Restaurant in the Danbury Fair Mall, located at 7 Bacchus Avenue. Pursuant to sections 5A2A46 and 5A2C3, an indoor amusement enterprise is a permitted use, and the cafe with the sale of alcoholic beverages is a special permit use in the CG20 district, respectively. Pursuant to section 8C4 of the zoning regulations, the proposed use requires a total of 17 parking spaces, 32 seats for amusement area, 6 employees, and 12 seats in cafe. The remaining use within the mall, existing restaurant patio areas, and the recently approved Shake Shack and Longhorn Steakhouse requires a total of 6,161 parking spaces. The last approved site plan shows that 6,532 parking spaces are provided on site. As such, adequate parking is available for the proposed use and the remaining mall uses. Your application for a waiver to site plan requirements for said 7,363 square feet change in use located at Danbury Fair Mall, located 7 Bacchus Avenue, tax assessors lot F17002 and F17013, is approved, subject to the following administrative requirements. Number 1, approval is granted strictly for the proposed change in use. Any additional changes to the site layout will require a revised site plan application. Number 2, pursuant to section 3F2 of the zoning regulations, the applicant shall obtain a special permit from the zoning commission for a cafe with the sale of alcoholic beverages. This approval does not waive any other departmental approvals, requirements, or permits that may be necessary to complete this project, including that required for site signage. The permit center should be contacted regarding the process of obtaining a zoning permit. Please contact the Department of Planning and Zoning if you have any questions. Respectfully, Jennifer Eminger, Deputy Planning Director, Carbon Copy Sean Harity, and more of Zoning Enforcement Officer, and Maura Ruby, Danbury Fair Mall. That was sent via email, again, dated September 28th, 2021. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this petition?
I can
Yes. Mr. Pata, if you would, please state your name and address, and then you have the floor.
Thank you very much. My name is Ajit Padda, and I'm a resident of Trumbull, 59 Porter's Hill Road. And I'm talking in favor of Golf Lounge DB LLC, which is registered for 78 Topaz Lane, Monroe. I'm one of the co-owners and the partners in the business, and I just wanted to thank you for the commission giving us an opportunity to introduce ourselves. We are a small business. It's an indoor golf amusement business that we started back in 2018. And we have at present 3 existing locations, 2 of them in Connecticut, which is in Fairfield and Orange. And as we got introduced to the chamber and the town and the demographically very fit, we had been looking to start one in the Danbury. So as the opportunity arose, I think we have a lease with the Danbury Fair Mall. And as mentioned, that we are trying to take the prior Red Robin's area. So, and combining a sushi bar with another restaurant that was combined. So it's a combined area at the moment. So we are looking to see that if we can get the permission to get the cafe license, which is the model that we have built for the existing locations. We have 3 locations, 2 in Connecticut, and we have 1 more in the mall in Westchester. So we very much like the model that we have in the Westchester Mall, and we're trying to replicate the same model in the Danbury Fair Mall at the moment. As said, I think there's a 7,363 square feet. We look to employ close to 10 employees, which would include some of the golf associates, some kitchen staff, bar staff, and including some of the other teaching staff as well on premises. And it not only, I think, it helps to provide a golf 12 months around the season, in the season, but out of the season during the winter as well. I think we have got a really good community feedback in Fairfield and Orange and the 2 locations. And we would desire that if we can continue to build the same model in the Danbury and bring the same services. So that's a brief introduction on the business and what we're trying to do, and a request for a cafe permit. I'd pause here to see that if there are any questions I could answer for anyone.
Yes, thank you. Commissioner Fay, did you have your hand up? I thought I saw for a second.
No, I saw a hand up and I was trying to figure out whether that was mine, but it's not mine. Sorry.
Okay. I saw.
It is not.
All right.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Hadda. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Pata, let me just talk in a global sense. What happens when someone walks into the door? What is it that they see? What is it that you do? Is it I'm assuming it's open to the public. Somebody can just walk in. I know what it would be like for a restaurant or a diner or a cafe, but you have entertainment here. So what's the primary business here? The primary business is you teach golf, you watch golf, people play virtual golf, and then there's food and drinks as an accessory. I mean, what's going on here?
It's a combination of all that you mentioned. So what we are trying to put at the moment is it's going to be 8 playing bays, which can be used to play a round of golf, which could be in one of the golf courses around the world. You can play it in one of the courses in Scotland or in Ireland or something in Florida. We have all those courses which are mapped, which could be virtually played. We use a technology which is called Trackman, and Trackman is the same technology which shows you the ball flight and the distance and the club speed and everything when you see golf on the PGA tournaments on the TV. So we use the same technology. So it's a technology that can be used for multiple things. It can be used for teaching. It can be used for entertainment, playing a round of golf. So what we are trying to replicate is we are trying to replicate the amusement and entertainment in a fast-paced and 12 months accessible to all the golfers into the vicinity. It's non-intimidating. We have seen multiple beginners who have started and picked up the game of golf, and they enjoy 12 months around the year. We do a couple of different events for kids. We do camps and clinics. We do a couple of different nights. For example, one of our very favorite ones is Wine and Nine for ladies only. And we do once a month in each location. So for the women who are avid golfers to the beginners, it's a non-intimidating environment which can provide you to pick up a club. Nobody's chasing you. Nobody's trying to rush you into playing it. It's open to public, and it's more affordable than being in a golf course. So I think we see people from all different at all different levels, from all different demographics, who love to come in. And not only that you need to be a good golfer, but you can even watch a football game while enjoying your favorite beer or a pizza. So it provides you an inclusive environment to play golf, watch a game, a sports game, enjoy a sports bar type of feeling, enjoy a local beer, and spend some time with friends and family.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's what I was hoping it was, to tell you the truth, because I've heard of that technology before, and I know one of my clients visits. I don't know if it's yours. He is down your way, actually. Yeah. So he may go to one of yours. So somebody can go play a round of golf. They're on the third hole, and they can have something to eat and drink. Absolutely. Chill out for a little bit. Don't have to worry about anybody behind them pushing them around.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. And we also do competitive tournaments. We do leagues. We do charity events. We do a couple of different tournaments with the local schools. We invite teams from the local colleges to practice. So it's a variety of different things that play into different times of the year. And that's it. I think the weather doesn't bother anyone. The time doesn't bother anyone. So we have a lot of clients who would love to come and just hang out and have a round of golf after work at 6 p.m., 7 p.m.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Sounds good. Let me ask you one more question, and I'll see if other commissioners have questions. I think at one time, maybe Mr. Melillo remembers this, one of the facilities, and it may have been the Red Robin, put on an outdoor dining deck. Is that still, do you have an outdoor deck as well, or facility?
That was, I think, over by Chipotle, Mr. Haddad. The other side I think that was at the other side of the mall. I don't ever really remember there being outdoor dining over by Red Robin.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Mr. Potter. I'm good for now. Let me ask if any other commission members have any questions. Mr. Melillo, while your mic's off.
I'll yield to Ms. Hylinski first.
Ms. Hylinski, go ahead.
Thank you, Commissioner Melillo. Mr. Padat, I have a couple of questions. One being, are your other two in Fairfield and Orange, are they in a mall setting? That's number one. Number two, the hours will be the mall hours. And you mentioned that, I know where the Red Robin was, and there was a sushi place next to it. Are you taking over that, expanding into that? Okay. And you mentioned, I saw the menu online and looked good. Can people just come in to eat?
Yes.
Or does it have to be in connection with the golfing?
So let me answer your first question. And Susan, I love your background, by the way, and I thought maybe there's a glass of wine in your hand, which might be from golf lounge. To answer your question, not all our locations are in the mall settings. Our Fairfield locations is a part of a sportsplex. So we have multiple other sports facilities in there. Our Orange location is in a Christmas tree shop plaza. So yes, it is not in the mall, but it's in a shopping plaza. And our third location, which is in Westchester, that is in the Westchester Mall. It's inside the mall. So I think as we start from first location to second and third, we realized that there is an audience. Like, for example, honestly, I don't go to the mall as much, but if my wife wants to take me to the mall because I can swing few clubs over there, I love to go to the mall. So I think that's an audience we cater. Christmas tree shop plaza, we love. I think families come over. Part of the family goes and do the shopping in the Christmas tree shop plaza, and the part of the family hangs out just to swing through clubs. So we like the settings on that point of view. Only one thing we found out in the mall in the Westchester, that we were inside the mall, and parking and getting clubs inside was a little bit of a hassle for some of our customers. And the opportunity we saw in the Danbury had an outside opening, and it's in front of a covered parking was a perfect opportunity that you don't have to walk far. Parking is very accessible, and you don't have to go inside the mall. So hence we love that opportunity. Your second question on do you have to come for? No, not at all. I think for all our facilities, we get customers who just come in for a pizza or would come in for a glass of wine. We get a lot of customers. We are next to Neiman Marcus in the Westchester Mall, and many a times we would get ladies who would have an event at the Neiman Marcus for shopping stuff, and they hang out, and before they leave out, they will just come stop by for a glass of wine before they head back. So it's open for public and open for anyone to come in. It doesn't have to be for golf only. We also do quite a lot of charity events. We have one which is actually this Thursday in Fairfield. It's for the raising funds for the kids' cancer charity. And we are expecting close to 100 people in and out in a matter of 4 hours, not all at once. But we have been told that only maybe 20% of them are going to be golfers. So we hold different type of events for non-golfers as well. But we have pro on staff, people come in for a drink or whatever. And most of the time it's intimidating not to hit it or swing a club. Even if you don't know you're going to pick up a club, you're going to swing a club, you can talk to a pro to think about. So people do pick up the game coming in from that perspective. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it did, and thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Melillo.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I have a couple questions. First of all, this kind of idea intrigues me, and I have to admit, I'm wondering in the back of my head if this is going to result in Mr. Eriquez spending more time at the mall. Now, I think he tries to avoid it now, but he may this may attract him there, and some other other individuals. Now, I don't want to be gender specific because to be honest with you, I know some female teachers who are more golf fanatics than some men are. So it's not really a gender thing. But I do want to ask a couple questions. And I'll admit these questions stem from maybe I did something wrong. Maybe it was a mistake of mine. But I did kind of see the article in the News Times dated October 25th by Rob Reiser, which is about this facility. So I would like to, because I'm referencing this article, I would like to just request that the article be included on the record. But I'm mainly curious because let me find it in here. It says here in the article, and it could be a miscommunication, misunderstanding of the article, that that the alcohol usage is an incidental use within the premises that may offer, where you may offer alcoholic beverages for sale on premises consumption only, and in no event shall operate a bar, cocktail lounge, or nightclub in the premises according to a lease signed in June. So I just wanted to see how that works, because I know some golf clubs you go in and there kind of is a small little bar area. So Can you just explain to me how that works in relationship to what how it's stated there?
Yeah, sure. I think undoubtedly there is one spelling typo where it said incidental, and I brought it up with them as well. But to the larger comment that they made, the lease we have and our agreement is that we don't want to operate as a club or a bar. We are a golf, amusement, entertainment facility, and bar is an additional service that we provide to our customers. So I think what he's trying to mention is part of our lease that our primary business is got to remain as a golf. It cannot be a bar business. It cannot be a club business. It cannot be a nightclub business. So that's not our business. So as a part of the lease, I think what he was trying to refer to is that by no means we will be running it as a nightclub or a club or a bar itself only. It will be primarily still remain as a golf, and that's in service as an entertainment service that's going to be provided to the customers and clients.
Okay, so will there be like some wait staff there that would be bringing some food or drink to the table, or would it be kind of like, or is it like you go up to the counter, you order, and then you bring it to a table? What is the format? So
it's both. There's going to be wait staff. We would be having golf associates as well. There are 8 different booths. There's a map. There's a architectural layout floor plan attached to the application. So if you look into it, the numbers and that shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are basically bays. And if you have to think about the bowling alleys. So those are basically the type of those bays. So typically you get situated in a bay 1 or bay 2. You get set up on the technology, your names and details, you start playing on it. And similar to as the bowling alley would operate, you will have a staff who can help you from a technology perspective to set up and answer your questions, but can take your orders, and they would do they would have the stuff situated. There will be a waiting staff on premises. At the same time, I think there's going to be an opportunity if somebody wants to just get down to the main aisle and want to order something, there will be an option to do that too.
Okay. And because you do have a separate entrance and exit, in addition to the entrance and exit that would feed out into the mall itself, are you going to have hours extending past the mall opening time?
Yes, that is the intention. And I think that's the agreement we have with the mall as well. Only for the reason that, especially in the winters, our teaching stuff starts a little early. People like to get out early before the family is disturbed. They don't want to golfers have a tendency of try to get the stuff what they want to do before the family gets it into play. So that does start earlier on the weekends only. So on Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays. On the weekends, we open at 7 a.m. and that is going to be the front entrance, and that's an agreement with the mall to do so. And similarly, we have some league nights where some of our office working customers would like to play the leagues, which then post hours. So that will be in play as well from the front entrance.
Okay. And Mr. Haddad started to go down this road, and we kind of, didn't really deviate on it. I am curious, since he mentioned it. Are you thinking about maybe trying to put a couple tables? I know there weren't tables in existence prior to, and I know sometimes like out in the, some of the courses, a couple members like to, especially on nice days, maybe sit outside and enjoy a beer or something. Are you thinking about putting any tables there? Or are you just planning on leaving it completely inside the indoor venue itself?
So not in the front side, definitely not. And the reason so is our primary working season is winter, when probably during summer people are most likely going to be on the golf course. They would come in the evening. We have evening customers who would come and play. We would have some teaching schools and stuff, but not as many customers would sit out. So we are not intending or planning to put any patio in the front side of that Red Robin space. Though we haven't yet planned and not a part of it, but as a part of the lease, mall has agreed that we will discuss in a future point if in case there would be, and if the town would have a provision to have some seating on the side of that inside the mall. But that's not in the plans as we begin to open for business this year.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Melillo. For the record, the October 25th Danbury News Times article we'll call Exhibit A. Mr. Hawley, I see your hand up. Please.
Yep. Thank you, Chairman. So yeah, hi, Mr. Patat. Thank you for this great idea. This is going to be a wonderful addition to the Danbury Mall, especially with all these new stores coming into the mall. I believe the mall is going to experience like a new renaissance, if you will. So I'm looking forward to this. And I just had a question regarding any kind of safety protocols, especially with people who are drinking and there's like clubs around in your indoor place. Could you touch upon that, what your current protocols are at your other facilities?
Yeah, definitely. I think number one, we have all our staff, which is tip certified and safe serve certified. I think we have a strict thing about all the ID checks and stuff. Also, I think typically we work on a process of nobody stays in our place more than 2 hours or 3, depending upon how they play. But we do guide our staff to be cautious of the fact that anyone who stays longer. Same protocols that may apply to any of the restaurants. If we feel something is tipsy, we got to report to the mall security, and we got to report it to the security around that. So the same protocols that may apply to any of the restaurants or cafe would apply, does apply to us. That said, from your club's point of view, our safety protocols on that is, so how we are structured is inside the bay is always going to be one person who's going to be inside the bay hitting. So we have tables, everybody sits outside the tables. So from the point of view that anyone who's swinging the club inside may not accidentally hit anyone. And that's the reason we have the protocol and we have the red tapes. Everyone is instructed to be outside of that hitting bay when somebody else is hitting. And we have put in a timer in place within our technology as well. For example, you and me are playing. So if I hit my shot, there is a 10-second, 15-second gap that there is a time that you have time to walk out. And I walk in and vice versa. So we strictly impose that. Touch wood, we have been lucky enough that with the protocols that we have, with 3.5 years we have been in operation, we did not have any incident from that perspective so far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You all set, Mr. Hawley, you good?
I have one more question. Thank you.
Good. Yes, go.
You also touch upon if you have any kind of like storage of clubs. Like say if like a family's coming in, dad wants to go golf, could he meet up with his kids later on and like leave his clubs in the facility, like to meet up for dinner or something at another place?
Really good point. So when we started our model was that we had rental clubs. We don't charge for the rental clubs from different groups, companies, for example, TaylorMade and Strixon and others. We would have clubs available for public to use if they would like to at no charge. But during COVID, we restricted that because of different hands and touching each other's clubs for the safety protocols point of view. Once, and if CDC, I think they've taken it off for now, but still as a part of the caution, we don't keep it open. But clubs are available if anybody wants. We have the cleaning protocols in place where we clean them and we provide them other cleaning things for individuals as well to feel them safe if they would like to use it. But yes, if the environment becomes more open, our intention is that there are going to be different rental clubs that are going to be available for everyone to use if they don't bring their own clubs. At the same time, we do have the storage at the back, and our members and the league players, they have an option to store their clubs if they would like to. But I tell you that most of the golfers love their clubs, that they like to bring their own clubs to hit rather than use the rental clubs, except for someone who's coming to try. That's been our experience. But we do have it on premises for all ages and all genders and all for kids and for youth and for women and for men, lefty and righty. We have all the clubs available for use.
All right, perfect. Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Hawley. Mr. Potter, you touched on something. So actually, in a bay, you can have a twosome. You can have more than one person playing around. It's just not like playing against a computer. So people are going to be playing against each other. Okay.
Yeah. So in a bay, there can be up to, technology supports up to 6, but typically we see 3 or 4. But how our technology is, how we have, so me and my partner, we both come from an IT background. So we have done some of our own software developments as well, that we can have people virtually compete with each other. For example, if someone else is playing in a Danbury location, it can compete against someone playing in Fairfield location. so we can have the live scores. And we do a couple of different tournaments which work in that way. We have a live scoreboard across all locations, and each location competes against each other as well. Our leagues are run in the same fashion too. So it's a bigger league, the prize becomes bigger, and hence it's a more competitive leagues. And we have the technology enabled where it enables to compete against each other from all of the locations as well.
That's great. Thank you very much. When is your projected opening?
We are looking to open somewhere around December, early December, if in case all things go fine. That said, I don't want to jinx it, because with all the supply demand issues that we have been having, who knows, we got to get stuck. We have been trying to procure all that we need for the last 6 months, and there's always hiccups one here and there. So we continue to do our best.
Thank you. Commission members, anything else of Mr. Pata at this time? Commission members, I don't see any hands, and I don't see any. Okay, I don't hear any voices. So let me go on to ask if there's anybody else wishing to speak in favor of this petition. Is there anyone? Oh, Councilman Rotello, I see your hand. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening.
Good evening.
Paul Rotello, 13 Linden Place, Danbury. For the record, the 6th Ward City Council supports the petition. Ben has been trying to get in. I don't know if he's in a queue or there's some technology issue, but if Ben were here, he would be speaking in favor of this as well. The mall is going through some things. Retail in general is going through some issues, and Danbury is solidly behind retail efforts throughout the city, and we consider the mall to be one of the premier outlets for retail. When the mall opened, it was essentially a retail destination. It's beginning to migrate to a combination of retail and recreational. So we support this petition. We support this new direction the mall is taking, and wish the petitioner and these types of event-based marketing a great success going forward. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilman Rotello. Councilman Chianese, I saw that you just came on. Did you want to add to that? No. Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman, no, I don't.
Yes.
But
Okay.
I am in support of the application.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? I don't see, I don't hear. Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this petition? For the record, I did not hear any voices or see any hands. Mr. Pata, do you want to sum up anything? Did you have anything maybe that you forgot? Did you want to throw in?
No, I think I appreciate and thank you. Thank everyone for giving us an opportunity to present ourselves. We are excited to get to the Danbury Fair Mall. And as you, I think, mentioned, I've been talking to a couple of other shopping complexes, including some of the malls and other areas as well. And everyone's trying to change how they're going to present. Retail is going in a different direction. And I think what we bring in on, and we're proud of that, is that we bring in some good clientele, foot traffic into these shopping complexes. And that just not only helps us, it helps different other businesses as well. And we have seen quite a good amount of support, not only from the golfers from an entertainment perspective, but even from the perspective, I think, for example, in the Fairfield town, we work with the whole Fairfield town, not with the school, to get all their kids' programs that we run, all the school programs run out of our facility during the season and off season. So I think we look forward to coming into Danbury, and very thankful for the level of support we have got so far. Thank you very much for tonight to presenting ourselves.
Thank you. Mr. Pata, let me get between you and Mr. Melillo and the dialogue that you had before. Am I correct in what I heard, that this is going to be service bar only, not a sit-down bar in any particular location? Is that correct? Mr. Melillo, was that what you were getting at before?
I was just curious about that. I think he did satisfy that it sounds like it's going to be a service bar, not a formal sit-down bar. But there will be some people going up and ordering from the counter, kind of like an Amber Room would happen in some of those others. So I think it satisfies the service bar stipulation. I don't remember if Red Robin had a service bar stipulation or not, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't remember that either. This sounds similar to the entertainment complex we did on Mill Plain Road as well, I think.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Potter, you're under the understanding that there won't be a sit-down bar where there's a row, 10 chairs, people sit down and order a drink from a bartender, barmaid, and watch TV. It's just going to be, you're going to be serving people their orders from their location, correct?
No, I think let me clarify on that. So it's a serving bar which people will be served in their bays. There are going to be TVs on the bar as well, and there are 12 seating spaces, seating chairs on the bar as well.
Oh, okay.
So I think as a part of the petition, we mentioned that too.
Okay.
Mostly when the shift happens, for example, if our 8 bays are full and they are all for 2 hours and the next groups come in, the typical we would wait out there, or we have a seating area and the sofas and stuff, they would wait on there when the shift happens, there will be.
Yeah, I get it.
Mr. Chairman, I want to say that there was a limited bar like that in Red Robin, but to be honest with you, it's been so long since I was in there. I don't vaguely remember, but there's a little part of me that remembers that being set up that way.
All right, thank you. I think we're all set. Commission members, is anyone wishing, Ms. Reed? We can't hear you. How come we can't hear you? Your mic is.
It might be your headphones. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, gotcha.
Okay, there was no stipulation on Red Robin. I checked.
Okay, thank you. Worth the wait. Thank you very much. Commission members, what's your pleasure? It's a motion to,
Chairman,
Mr. Melillo.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion made by Mr. Melillo to close the public hearing. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Jowdy. Any discussion? All those in favor of closing the public hearing this evening signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? For the record, it was a unanimous decision to close the public hearing. I did not hear or see any opposition. This public hearing is closed. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Melillo,
Chairman,
yes.
I would like to make a motion to move this to item number 2 under old business.
Commission members, there's a motion made by Commissioner Melillo to move the petition of Golf Lounge DB LLC Danbury Fair Mall to number 2 under old business for this evening. Is there a second? Mr. Mazzi, thank you. Second by Mr. Mazzi. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Not hearing any opposition or seeing any hands, that is unanimous as well. So this petition of Golf Lounge DB LLC Danbury Fair Mall will be number 2 under old business this evening for discussion and possible action. Okay. Regarding the continuation of a public hearing, everybody got the message that the applicant's attorney has requested a continuance. Let me just explain a couple things. We received a letter dated October 19th from the applicant, Attorney Hollister. On behalf of 3 Lake Avenue Extension LLC, we hereby request a continuance of the zoning hearing scheduled for Tuesday, October 26th to the commission's next regularly scheduled meeting on November 9th, or a special meeting soon thereafter. This request is made because the applicant is compiling responses to the questions and comments raised during the 7-hour hearing on September 28th, but requires additional time to complete its responses and rebuttal. We apologize for any inconvenience and thank the commission for granting this request. We will assume that there will be no testimony of or reading of written material submissions on October 26th. The applicant hereby grants the zoning commission an extension of time in accordance with Connecticut general statutes to complete the hearing to November 9th. Thank you. When this came in, it dawned on us that if this extension was to November 9th, we would not be able, if there was anything outstanding on November 9th, we didn't have any extension beyond that date. So we would be forced to close the public hearing with maybe an unanswered question or looking for any additional exhibits or from any city officials. So we then, Ms. Calitro brought it to the attention of the petitioner, and that's why we have the second letter dated October 20th, which reads, on behalf of 3 Lake Avenue Extension LLC, we hereby grant the Danbury Zoning Commission an extension of time for completing the current public hearing begun on September 28, 2021, to and including Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. This further extension and clarification will ensure that the commission does not need to close the hearing on November 9th, 2021, and may continue the hearing to a special or regular meeting later in the month of November. It remains our understanding no testimony will be received on October 26th. Thank you. So that's the reason why we have these two letters, and that was my thinking behind that. Further, there will be no, as we said, there'll be no discussion or testimony. And those in favor, those in opposition, and petitioner are welcome to see if there's any additional exhibits on record. But we're not going to be doing anything on that this evening. There's an understanding to that with all the commission members? Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, I would just ask you
Yes.
to entertain a motion just to continue the public hearing, that's all.
Thank you very much.
Chairman, I was actually just ready to offer that motion, so I'll make a motion to continue this public hearing until November 9th, 2021.
Thank you very much. I'm shuffling papers and I'm forgetting the important stuff. Thank you, Ms. Calitro. Mr. Millo, thank you very much. Is there a second by Mr. Almeida? Any discussion? Is a motion made to continue this to the next meeting on November 9th, second by Mr. Malolo, second by Mr. Almeida. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? For the record, I did not hear any opposition or see any hands. So unanimously, this will be continued to November 9th. Under old business, there's a petition of 29 Federal Road LLC and Robert Schmooze, 21, 29, 33-35 and 39 Federal Road, in parentheses, K11123, K11125, K11126, and K1127 for a change of zone from IL40 to CG20. Commission members, you may recall my comments about the appearance of the property of 39 and was wondering if there was any zoning violations on that. We did have the zoning enforcement by request went out there, and I'm going to read into the record the response. It looks like it was received today at 4:41 p.m.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Ms. Calitro, are we able to receive that? The public hearing was closed. And I know there's some administrative stuff, but I'm just curious if we can actually, if that would fall under receipt of new information or if that would be a reporting under old.
I thought from the city we can take, but we can't from anywhere else.
Yes, it's a staff, it's like a technical report from staff based on a question from the chair of the zoning commission.
Okay, I just
So
wanted
what
to
would the
get that-
condition of the property? What's the condition of the property? So.
Okay, I just wanted to get that on the record. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is from Sean Harity to Sharon. I inspected 39 Federal Road today. I met the owner on site. Here's a quick summary. Business is high-end accessories. Violations. There were portable signs at the edge of the road. I explained that they were not permitted and should be removed. The owner stated that he did not know that and he will come in for a freestanding sign in the future. Regarding car storage, all cars were registered and they run. I explained the limits of his car storage and left him the last approved waiver and mapping. Since the last meeting, he said he has made a strong effort to clean up after the last meeting. He picked up tires and miscellaneous debris and etc. He said he would make an effort to comply with the approved parking layout. He said that some of the cars were delayed on pickup dates due to the pandemic and lack of funds as a result. I guess I read that to mean that he did some work on some vehicles and the people that were picking them up had issues in picking them up. But the paragraph above that, the cars were all registered and they do run. So I guess I was a little bit of a stickler at the last meeting, and I believe I'm satisfied. I'd like to hear from the other commission members. I'm satisfied with our zoning enforcement officer's trip out there and the report that they made. Any comments, commission members, on that? Okay. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, commission members, what's your pleasure on this petition?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Melillo.
I would like to offer a motion. Just give me a second to pull it up on the, okay, there we go.
Good.
I would like to make a motion to approve this petition for the following reasons. And Ms. Reed, I can email these over to you upon the completion of the meeting. Reason number one, although this proposal is inconsistent with the Plan of Conservation and Development Land Development Plan map, this map has not been updated since 2002 and does not reflect zone changes that have occurred in this area since that time. Since that time, the uses on these parcels has changed to more of a commercial and retail nature. Reason number two, the rezoning of 1.655 acres of IL 40 zone land does not represent a significant loss of industrial land. And considering the size of these parcels, the dimensional limitations, and the existing uses, the CG 20 zone may be a more appropriate zone for them. Reason number three, approving this petition will result in the use of land that is in the best interest of the city. And reason number four, approving this petition will not detrimentally impact the health, safety, and welfare of the public.
Sorry about that. Commission members, there was a motion made by Mr. Melillo with reasons to approve the petition. Is there a second? I see Ms. Hylinski's hand raised. Ms. Hylinski, you're seconding that?
Yes.
Second by Ms. Hylinski. Commission members, any discussion? Any discussion, commission members? Motion made by Mr. Melillo with reasons to approve the petition, second by Ms. Hylinski. And I'm going to do a roll call on this. A yes is yes, a no is no. Mr. Almeida?
Yes.
Ms. Fay?
Yes.
Mr. Hawley?
Yes.
Ms. Hylinski?
Yes.
Mr. Jowdy?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly? Mr. Kelly, I read his lips. He said yes. And he raises his hand, yes. Mr. Mazzy?
Yes.
Mr. Melillo?
Yes.
And I will make it unanimous. 9-0, that this petition is approved. Congratulations to the petitioner and property owners, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commission members, we have a second petition under old business this evening, and it's a petition of Golf Lounge DB LLC, Danbury Fair Mall, 7 Bacchus Avenue, space C101, parentheses F17002 and F17013 for a special permit for a cafe liquor license. This location was previously approved for and had a liquor license as a Red Robin restaurant. The public hearing was opened October 26th, 2021, and it was closed on October 26th, 2021. Let the record show today is October 26th, 2021. Commission members.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Melillo.
I would like to make a motion to approve this petition in that it will not have any detrimental impact on the environment and the health and safety of the neighborhood. But I would like to put the following stipulation on this approval: that alcoholic beverages will be for sale on premise for on-premise consumption only, and within the space leased by Golf Lounge 18 only.
Okay, commission members, you heard the motion made by Mr. Melillo with reasons and conditions. As you recall, this is one of the very few opportunities that the zoning commission has a chance to condition and approval. Is there a second? I see.
I'll second.
Who said that? Ms. Fay? Was that you?
Candace Fay, yes.
Ms. Fay, second by Ms. Fay. Commission members, any discussion? Anybody want to discuss the reasons or discuss the condition? Mr. Jowdy, unmute.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Maybe Chairman Malillo could go over that. I want to make sure the applicant understands that. And it went kind of quick, and maybe it'll be a second chance for us to understand his concerns.
Thank you, Mr. Johnny. Mr. Malillo, can you go over that one more time, please?
Sure, through the chair, Mr. Haddad, to Mr. Jowdy. The stipulations I put in place are so the beverage you purchase at Golf Lounge 18 can only be consumed on the premises. However, I would hate for somebody to say, oh, the premises is the whole mall. So I've added the following stipulation that not only is it the premises, but within the confines of the space leased by Golf Lounge 18. So should they expand a little bit further, they could expand that consumption use. However, you could not take it and walk through the mall with an alcoholic beverage.
Mr. Jowdy, you follow?
Yes, that's very clear. I think it's clear to the applicant as well. Am I right, Mr. Potter?
Yes, it's very clear.
Okay.
We abide by that.
Thank you.
Commission members, anything else? Mr. Hawley.
Yeah, question. With that stipulation, if they're able to use the area right outside of the interior entrance, would they be able to consume alcohol there?
That would be under the lease agreement between them and the mall, and then any city licensing, if it was required, then I would say that's under the mall's prerogative. But it's not, again, it's not somebody walking through the mall consuming an alcoholic beverage.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mr. Hawley. I think we've got a good specific understanding of that. Anything else, commission members? Any other discussion? So I'll say one more time, we have a motion by Mr. Malillo with reasons and conditions. And who seconded that? Was that Ms. Fay? I think you seconded that.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Not hearing anything else, we're going to do a roll call on this. A yes is yes. And we'll begin with Mr. Malillo.
Yes.
Ms. Fay.
Yes.
Mr. Almeida.
I'm not a golfer, but I'm going to say yes.
You got a golf hat on. Mr. Hawley.
Yes.
Ms. Ilinsky.
Yes.
Mr. Jowdy.
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Mazzi.
Yes.
I'm not a golfer, but I eat pizza, and I will vote yes. This is also approved 9-0. And we wish you the best of luck, and thank you for coming to Danbury. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. We'd love to see you all soon over there.
Thank you. We'll try. Let's see. We do have new business this evening, and it is a petition of the City of Danbury by Sharon B. Calicio, Planning Director, to amend sections 3C, 10B2, and 10C4A2 of the zoning regulations. In parentheses, amendments pursuant to Public Act 21-29, opt out of parking requirements, amend zoning permit fee schedule to add provision authorizing charging of fee for expert consultant, and amend language in additional requirements for approval of special exceptions and special permits relative to use of the word character. Public hearing is scheduled for December 14th, 2021. So I would look to have someone make a motion to receive this petition, refer it to the Planning Commission for their recommendation, notify all surrounding communities that need to be notified, publish it in the town clerk's office and all other necessary required publications. I guess the flavor of the week is the Danbury News Times, according to state statutes, and set the public hearing date of December 14th, 2021, as it's scheduled on this evening's agenda, which is subject to change depending on circumstances related to COVID-19. No one has to repeat that. All they have to do is just say what you said. Ms. Ilinsky.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Kelly. Thank you. Second.
So moved.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, seeing any. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Well, that one works on a voice. I don't hear any opposition, see any hands in opposition. So unanimously, that is also moved. We don't have anything under correspondence, nothing for reference only. Are there any other matters? Mr. Hawley?
No.
Yes. Is our next meeting on the 9th, is that going to be on Zoom or in person?
I think we're still on Zoom right now. That's a good question.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Melillo?
So that we are continuing the public hearing for the Lake Avenue petition. I would anticipate another large gathering, and seeing as how the last one ran so late, with the ease of being able to move through the Zoom, I would anticipate another large gathering, and I would recommend us do that in the Zoom. Rather, we wouldn't have to worry about any space constrictions, how we're going to organize people coming in and out of the council chambers and things along those lines.
Thank you. I would tend to agree. It did go smooth. It did go long, but everybody had the opportunity. Everybody still has the opportunity. Maybe we should also touch on another matter. We have an election. When's the election? Is it a week from today? So what's going to happen? A week from today. So after next Tuesday, there's going to be some commission members that will not be here for the new commission on December 1st swearing in, but we still have this commission intact for the entire month of November. So we want to finish this petition, and we have the whole month to do it. And so I'd like to still see this entire commission present for the remaining November meetings, and if we have to have any special meeting to get this done before it changes hands. Any other comments? Mr. Melillo?
Yes, may I ask a question to Ms. Calitro, and I don't know if we would need to have council weigh in on this. If any newly elected zoning commission member, not having yet been sworn in, but was present on the November 9th meeting, would that qualify them if this had to extend into December? I mean, obviously they'd have to probably go back and watch the earlier one from September, but would that satisfy them under those requirements?
I think that's a good question to have if you're talking over a couple beers. That's something I wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. I would want this commission, but before November 30th to finish this. And I think that's what we should do. And I don't want to even touch that. So, I mean, it's a good question for Jeopardy maybe, but if you stay, Ms. Calitro, if you want to find out out of curiosity, I hope we don't get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check with I'll check with the Office of the Corporation Counsel. The similar question came up. I don't know what application it was. It might have been a planning commission application. Somebody was present and sitting in the chambers, but wasn't yet on, right?
Wasn't sworn in.
Wasn't sworn in yet, but.
Yeah.
I was just thinking in terms of the letter extending the public hearing till November 30th. That letter. So theoretically, if we did go extend a public hearing till November 30th, we would have to close and act on it that evening, and we wouldn't be
meeting's the
waiting with
23rd.
staff, to draft anything for language or stuff along those lines. So.
Well, you have a meeting on the 9th, you have a regular meeting on the 23rd, and you have the potential for some special meeting in between until you get to the 30th.
Yeah.
No, I was just wanting to make sure all of our ducks were covered. That's all.
Yeah.
If we close it on the 9th, we have time to act. If we don't close it on the 9th and we come up to the 23rd and we close it on the 23rd, we still have 7 days to have a special meeting.
Yep.
But thank you. Anything else, commission members? Nothing else, other matters. So at 8:34, I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn. Who wants to make that? Mr. Kelly, we'll give it to Mr. Kelly. Motion by Mr. Kelly to adjourn, second by Mr. Mazzi. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Not hearing any, unanimously, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your time. I appreciate it. Also,
Good
Ms.
night,
Reed and
Ms.
Ms. Politro,